Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about trading and analyzing Bitcoin, altcoins and cryptocurrencies. If you're new here, I'm Sia, a professional trader, and today I'm going to give you guys an update on crypto so you can understand where I think price is headed in the coming days. I'm going to show you how I traded, and if you want to learn more about that, please keep watching my videos. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and also that notification bell so you're notified each time I post a video. Let's dive right into it. I spoke about this before. Primarily what we were looking at was for Bitcoin to have had a first impulse into a new market cycle, and right after that a sideways monthly consolidation. This was the third month. The previous month was the third month, but what you can see is the previous two market cycles, how the sideways was affirmed was that we never had a break of the previous monthly lows, and now you can see that Bitcoin is not following the market structure of the previous two market cycles. We have not only broken but closed below the lows of July, and essentially this is something really important, guys, because we have not seen this before on the Bitcoin chart. We've had a strong impulse and no follow through, no consolidation, and what we are doing now is a correction. I was looking at a yearly pivot test. We are still holding the yearly pivot, which is at about 8,000, but what I want to take you to is now the total market cap. So this is the total market cap on the weekly time frame. I want to show you something very important from the previous market cycle, a comparison. We are looking at weekly highs and lows. So you can see on the total market cap in the previous market cycles, we never made a lower low on the weekly. That is that using price, we were trending all the way till the December highs. Very critically, what you can see now is that the previous weekly candle, we now have made a lower low. Yes, that's right. We made a lower low, and essentially I'm just going to look for the brush. Yeah, we made the lower low. So basically we've taken out the low that made the high, and we have not done this before on the total market cap. This is really important because this takes us into a downtrend, and being in a downtrend in the weekly time frame, I think it's essential to be looking to short bounces, because this is not the same market structure that I feel everybody is thinking that we are looking at anymore. Crypto as a market is doing something different. Either it's going into a consolidation, or another perspective to look at it is, let's just look at the fibs. Here you can see the 30-year retracement from the previous market cycle. It held the weekly lows. We made a similar kind of retracement. Yeah, it is the 38.2 retracement, but yes, we haven't held the weekly lows. So either we are heading into a consolidation phase, or this is a mini market cycle where we do find support at another weekly support. So that weekly support is about 10% down from here. Essentially, if we do find support here and consolidate and move up, it is still a probability, but for now we are making a lower low on the weekly. So I think everybody who is overly bullish needs to be a bit careful. I'm gonna switch. Also, I just remembered I wanted to talk about the yearly pivots here as well. And you can see on the previous breakdowns, we did break down from the yearly pivot but held, and eventually the next year's yearly pivot we made it into a support. Currently we tested the yearly pivot as resistance, and I mean, now the market really needs to show itself, guys, before getting overly bullish or looking for the skies. We need the market to prove itself. Moving on to the altcoin market cap, I was looking at again the previous cycle. Essentially it's not exactly the same, what we are seeing. Look at the Fib retracement on the previous altcoin market cycle. You can see very clearly that we were much more bullish. We had a 50% retrace on the first impulse. We fully retraced that, made another little bounce and moved. On this altcoin market cycle, we haven't even been able to make a 23% bounce from the drop that we had. That does not bode so well for altcoins. But essentially, yes, we can make a retrace into weekly support again and build a consolidation pattern like we did before. Essentially that just reflects that we would need time here. It's nothing else. If nothing else and it does not break and this support holds, you get another really nice trade to long the crypto ecosystem again. But for now, essentially you need to be careful, because what was support before, it turned into resistance and we broke down from it. You can see we did something similar the last time. So yeah guys, this is what I see on higher time frames. This is the macro time frame, and I want to move to Bitcoin now. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart on the weekly. So not like the total market cap, on Bitcoin right now the weekly has survived. Essentially the low that made the high on the weekly is surviving right now on Bitcoin. But what is not so good is that we did break down from a very strong support zone and we broke down with a decent amount of volume. I want to zoom in a bit more. So okay, let's check out the daily for a second. Okay, the daily doesn't look too great yet, but yes, this 8k support, which is also the yearly pivot, has had 1 2 3 4 5 tests. It has held it. I believe if we go down here again, this support is already going to be exhausted. What we are looking at on the daily chart, okay, let's zoom into the 4 hour. I'll show you something more clearly. Okay, on the 4 hour we have, this is basically the monthly open which is being defended right now. I think if we break below the monthly open on possibly even the 4 hour, the door to 8,000 opens again, and we have built another higher range after we had a stop run over here. This higher range, the middle of this higher range, I think if we start closing above this, we can see the 8600s. So my play right now would be, if you're not already in the short, just a couple of hours ago there was a really nice short over here. My play would be to either see price closing above the middle of this range If you do see a close middle of this range, you can see a play all the way to 8600. 8600, if you see a stop run here and maybe a retest, you can get another nice shorting opportunity. If you see a daily close below the monthly open, I would be very careful and essentially be looking for adding to my shorts down here. First target for that would be 8000s, but I don't think 8000s will hold. If we do start closing below this, I would add to my shorts again, looking towards this weekly level, which is the liquidity. There is a lot of liquidity down here. These equal lows, also the weekly low. Bitcoin breaks below this, I think we are in big trouble, because we'd be making a lower low on the weekly. That is not a bull run, guys. That is essentially a downtrend on a higher time frame, and you really need to understand that you cannot really expect a stronger turnaround. I think this liquidity, if it's taken down, it is possible that we could get 7Ks, higher 6Ks. So for now, this is the shorter and medium term game plan for Bitcoin. The monthly open, guys, it's really important. Essentially, if we start closing below this, I think you should be looking for more downside and the middle of this range for revisiting 8600. For alts, this is the 3-day time frame for alts against BTC. I do think that if Bitcoin ends up finding support, I'm going to go back to the altcoin market cap. If Bitcoin ends up finding support in the higher 6Ks or even around the 6Ks, the altcoin market cap will retrace to this weekly level. And essentially, if we do retrace here, you can look for a nice sideways on Bitcoin, and that's what has me looking at this altcoin BTC chart. AltBtc, essentially, if you look at market cycles, Litecoin, BNB, ADA, all of them have essentially had full retraces on their market cycles, and full retraces with some sideways consolidation on most of them would have me looking for at least a bounce play on altcoins. If not entirely a new market cycle, definitely there would be some upside to play for AltBtc. Getting down to it, here's the XRP BTC chart, and you can see I've drawn out a bit of a fractal from Ripple's previous market cycles, 2015, 2016. 2016, 2017 we had a consolidation, but also pretty nice spikes up here, 100% moves with a nice range playing out. I do believe we've reached the bottom of that range, so we have probabilities of pretty good 40, 50, 100% moves on XRP BTC. He moves fast, but if you can catch him at a nice place, this is a good play. Another play that I would want to look at is Ethereum. He's in a very interesting position too. Yep. So super long downtrend line all the way from the Jan highs. We are very close to it. Also, we are very close to this important weekly level. I think if we get above it, we're gonna get another run, guys. We could get 20, 30, even 50% Ethereum against BTC. I think these plays will be coming once BTC finds support somewhere, and that we need to still find out where it's going to be depending on our mid time frame plays. So that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. I wanted us to be careful, don't be overly optimistic, because again the total market cap we have broken down and we are now making lower lows on a weekly time frame. Bitcoin is yet to do that. So in the mid time frame we are looking at the monthly open. Currently we've been trading around it. We've made a liquidity strike over here and a strong down candle on the hourly time frame. So this is the play for BTC that I had spoken about, and this is the play for altcoins. Ripple and ETH, the large caps, they look good. So whenever BTC is going to be finding the bottom, I suggest you really start looking into AltBtc plays, because for the next, I would say, month or two, those would be the most profitable in the crypto space. That's all for me, guys. Make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you guys soon again. Cheers.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and share it with someone else. And if you have any questions about what we covered today, please leave them in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you or answer them in my next video. For more trading content and education, go ahead and click on the video on your right. Thanks for watching, guys, and cheers!